Before we begin the message today, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Rexmay. Now, you wouldn't necessarily pronounce it that way, but it is Rexmay. I put in my notes, R-E-X-M-A-Y, to be able to say it correctly. You might want to try to say her name because you need to be familiar with her ministry. Will you practice her name on the count of three? 1, 2, 3. Rexmay, that's right, Rexmay. Very good. Rexmay was sold into sex slavery at the age of 8. She was sold to an American pedophile. In 2006, she, along with 6 other girls, were rescued out of that man's home in Cambodia. He was arrested and extradited back to the United States for trial. In 2010, Rexmay got to come to America along with 4 other girls to testify against her abuser. So she grew up from 2010 in America, being counseled, trained, and healed in the name of Jesus Christ. In 2017, she was married to this gentleman. And since then, she has now moved back to Cambodia to help other women and girls come out of sex trade and trafficking to be healed in the name of Jesus. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you can clap for her. She works with a ministry called Agape International Ministries, which is a mission our church supports. Agape International Ministries is the one who rescued Rexmay. And what they do, they have in their mind, they find where these girls are in Cambodia, where these women are in Cambodia, and then they would call the police and say, hey, we know this illegal activity is going on. And the police said, okay, we're going to send a SWAT team in to rescue them. And then, lo and behold, the sex traffickers get tipped off before the police arrive. They move the girls, and the raid is a failure. So in 2014, Agape International Ministries formed with a connection with the Cambodian government their own SWAT team. And since 2014, they have rescued, on average, about 200 women every year. Because with their own SWAT team, the police don't get tipped off. The sex traffickers don't get tipped off. They just go in and rescue girls. Then they move these girls to a restoration house where they receive trauma counseling. They receive physical aid and medication. They receive school and training, and they receive all in the name of Jesus Christ. Then after they go through the restoration process, they're moved to a transitional house where they are given a new job to be incorporated back into society, healed. And a lot of these women return and help other girls heal. This is Agape International Ministries. And the reason why I bring this up is because of what we are starting in December, our 60-40 sacrificial giving project. 60-40 sacrificial giving campaign. Here's what I mean by that. Through many times throughout the years, we have asked our church to give sacrificially above and beyond our regular offering to some sort of ministry or mission. And we do tons of ministry and missions outside the walls of these church. In fact, so much so that 11% of our budget is set aside to go toward missions that happen. And so we have asked in the past, we've said, hey, we're going to do a sacrificial giving campaign for one of those mission projects, for the food pack that we did not too long ago, where Coach Mills from Wilmington College said, I love coming to this church. This is my church because it's not just a church that talks, but a church that does. And, we've done a couple of years ago, we had students in one of the missions we support. They, through COVID and through international problems, they didn't have enough money to go back to school. So we set a goal for our church to raise $20,000 in a short period of time to send students back to school. And we did it. It was amazing. And so in the past, we've done sacrificial giving campaigns or sacrificial giving projects for ministries outside the church. In this December, this coming month, we're actually going to do a sacrificial giving project, sacrificial giving gift, a campaign to go to ministries within our church. And this is kind of complicated, I know, but hang with me here. The calendar year ends in December, but Wilmington Church's fiscal year begins in November. And a lot of churches, they'll end the fiscal year by saying, hey, we need to cover up somewhere where we've missed some giving opportunities, or maybe we didn't quite reach our budget. A lot of churches will say at the end of the fiscal year, hey, can you help us meet our budget? We're not doing that. What we'd like to do is kick off our fiscal year with a boost to our 2025 budget. Our elders have set for us an ambitious budget for 2025, and we want to give it a boost with a sacrificial giving campaign. 60-40. Here's how it works. In December, we would like to raise $25,000. 40% of it will go to our missions team to help missions like what Rexmay is doing, Agape International Ministries. 40% of it will go to missions, and 60% of it will go to ministries that happen within the walls of this church, ministries that we have budgeted for 2025. We really believe God is doing something incredible in our church and through our church, and we want to be a part of it. So here's how sacrificial giving works. You've already got in your mind what you regularly give week to week or bi-weekly to God through the church offering. Sacrificial giving is above and beyond that. We want to raise $25,000 in December. Now, because it's December, the end of the calendar year, you can write off whatever you give as a tax reduction. But if that's the only reason you are ever giving, you probably need to check your heart at the door. We give to God, and then He uses that to do ministries in our community and around the world. And we want to challenge our church for the month of December to give a sacrificial gift. Now, for the month of November and a little bit of December, we're going to highlight one of the missions that we support before the message every week, just to show you where our monies go when we give to God. He uses them in incredible ways, just like we did with Rexmay. But we want to challenge you to ask God, what number do you want me to give in December? I know the church has a goal. Leadership has set a goal, but what number does God really want you to give? One year, not too terribly long ago, there was a man in our church. He had been attending for years on and off, but he got saved. He came to Christ, and he gave a gift of $25,000 to the church. Now, I don't know if that is what God is putting on your mind right now, but my challenge to you is, over the next month, would you pray and ask God, what amount does He want you to give to the sacrificial giving campaign, 60-40 campaign in December, knowing that it is going to go not only to missions outside the walls, but also to the ministries that we do within this church.